are you doing, dude?
Good. How's it going?
Absolutely fantastic, man. To have this kind of music in your hands right now, sharing it with the world, what is that like? Because, I mean, you guys have got a sound here that I keep listening to it over and over again.
I really appreciate that. We were really excited to finally get it out there. We've been done with it a couple of months, but, mixing and all that takes some time. So we're happy with the reception that we've gotten so far from it. As far as what it means, it takes a lot of work on our side. Really, the lead singer, Chris Feldman, he's also the rhythm guitarist, and he's really the driving force behind the lyrics and the songwriting that goes into the album. So I really do give him a lot of credit. He provides us a strong foundation to get these songs together and kind of build on with our parts, our strengths. Myself playing the drums, our lead guitarist, and our bassist can kind of build on his vision and create a total picture and a song that, we think people will enjoy.
When you talk about building that vision, I mean, it's like, because, I mean, people are going to look at the album cover and they're going to try to, get their own interpretation of the name of the album. Is it Valak the Defiler?
It's Valak the Defiler.
That the simple way. I should have taken a simple way.
Yeah. But we're not too strict with how to pronounce it. And even behind the cover, there is some lore on our side behind it, but we don't really dive too much into it. The story itself, the album, it's not really a concept album. Each of the songs were created individually, but as we sort of finish songs and put them together, we order them in a way that a narrative could be kind of pulled out of them. Yeah. So we do have that thought on our side of sort of the samurai on the cover, going through some trials and eventually defeating Valak at the end. But it's definitely not, a concept album or hitting yourself over the head where every lyric is trying to tell the story.
Well, I hope to God that you put that album cover on T-shirts and things, because that's great merchandise right there, dude.
Definitely. We do have a shirt actually with the album cover available on our website. So that's Ronin-band.com. Or if you Google, Ronin Band, we'll pop up. But yeah, we do have the album cover for sale on a shirt on our site. When
you guys were putting together Satan's Portal, I mean, this song right here, the guitar riffs are just, they're memorable. And that's the thing about it, is that we don't have those songs right now, except when you get this album. I mean, the direction of the whole entire song is so original.
I like that. And one of the things I do purposely as a drummer is I play just single bass pedal. And it's a conscious decision. It's not that I'm incapable of playing double bass, but I think in sort of the current landscape of rock where, almost everybody's doing a breakdown, you're getting these sort of double bass heavy beats where, the rhythm guitar is just sort of driving. There's not much rhythm there, if that makes sense. So we made a conscious decision to sort of get away from that and try to focus on riffs and the guitar and let the instruments all sort of breathe. We're not trying to hit you with a wall of noise. We're trying to write good songs that are a joy to listen to.
Well, dude, it was the drums and the guitar that brought a lot of people to all the different guitar shops. I mean, heck, I couldn't be at Sam's if I didn't know what the guitar was doing back there.
Right, of course.
What kind of bird do you have in the background?
Oh, sorry. That's actually my dog.
Oh, you're
I apologize.
No. My dog is in here with me too, dude. I mean, she's my little bodyguard. She's my energy.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same with us. So I'm trying to wrangle her here.
Oh, that's okay. That's what this is all about. So one of the things that I notice about your music and the way that it stands out, and I think the reason why I keep going back to listen to it, is that I don't hear a new rock format. In other words, you're not following a formula in this at all. You've got your own sound, so that when I do hear it on Spotify or I hear it on iHeart or a radio station, I'm going to go, oh my God, I know exactly who that is.
Exactly, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to stand out without, we're not gimmicky. We're not doing anything with guitar effects or backing tracks, anything like that. It's all us on the album. But yeah, we do try to have a distinct sound that sort of stands out from the current. Some people have called it a little bit of a retro sound, but we think that kind of 90s or early 2000s style of rock is coming back into play now.
Yeah, and we want to call it our own. And that's the thing about it is when someone discovers you guys, it's going to be like, well, this is my band. And I think that's what's missing from music today. Where's my band? Okay, you're my band.
Exactly. Yeah, and we love that. We take pride in kind of each being able to play our instruments well. We're not a punk rock band by any means where we're just happy to play a few chords. So we're definitely striving, and this album we already feel was a step up from the first, and hopefully we get to work on a third, and that would be an even bigger step up.
Now, I've not caught you guys in concert yet, but my heart is telling me after listening to this album so many times, I want that title track hit to be the show opener. How far off am I?
No, you're not. So Valak the Defiler, it's one of the standout tracks on the album. I really enjoy it, and we have been playing it live. We just played, even though the album came out about a month ago, we just played our album release show this past weekend. And we opened with Saturn's Portal just because that's the single off the album. Mm-hmm. But the title track, Valak, was definitely in the set. And we plan on playing that pretty much anytime we play a show going forward. We have a couple of dates up in Canada coming up November 3rd and 4th. We'll be up there. And we should be announcing more U.S. dates soon.
So now when it comes to Canadian music, I mean, I grew up in Montana where Canadian music was huge in our lifestyle because we would either pick up the songs from the Canadian radio stations or the Canadian artists would come down to Montana. What kind of influences do you get up there?
We don't take much influence from it. We just happen to be going up there because another band, Late Night Trouble, who's represented by our same label, Pavement. Mm-hmm. They're playing a couple shows. They are a Canadian band. So they're playing a couple shows. They invited us along. So we're going up there to help them on that leg. We do have kind of a strong fan base here in the Northeast. So that, kind of leaks into Eastern Canada over here, right above New York. I wouldn't say we currently have any Canadian influence, but we may, now that we play a couple shows with these guys and get to know them better, maybe something will rub off on us. And as far as Canadian bands, myself as a drummer, of course Rush has been an influence for myself. That sort of goes without saying for a drummer. Not that I necessarily try to emulate Neil Peart's style. It's kind of hard to do. Yeah. But you kind of try to put his flavor in there where you can. And for myself personally, John Bonham is a big influence, which
oh my God, yes.
I think you can hear that a little bit more in my play come across.
Wow. I'll tell you what, one of the best drums that I listened to in Canadian music was a group called April Wine, and the song was Say Hello. Just the way that drum opens the song and takes the listener all the way through it. I mean, that drum is just so present.
Oh, I'm not even familiar with that song. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm going to listen to it once we wrap up here. Say Hello by April Wine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but it was 80s rock, and it was just and that's what I loved about the Canadian music back then was that it was just they had their own image. It wasn't Def Leppard. It wasn't Still Heart hanging around with us. It was all about that Canadian music.
Right. Yeah. It's strange. I feel now with Spotify and sort of the internet, where a band is from is becoming less of a factor. Yep. Because you're able to hear music from all over the world, so it sort of travels globally pretty quickly. Where you're not getting any more of those, like Seattle, the grunge scene. Yeah. Now that pops up online. It doesn't pop up geographically anymore.
The song Wonder has my attention in a really huge way because I'm here in the South and I've spent the past 38 years listening to the sounds of the South. Was it inspired by the South? Because I hear some Southern rock here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. So we play Simple Man as a cover a lot during our live shows.
Nice.
And sort of with playing that, we like the feel of it and we messed around. And again, our lead singer and rhythm guitarist, Chris Feldman, he was really the driving force. He wrote the song and laid down the foundation for Wonder, and we just sort of filled in the pieces. But for the most part, it was really all there. For me as a drummer, that was great to just sort of sit back on that one a little bit and let the guitar carry it, let the vocals carry it. We almost everybody we speak to, they all have their favorite sort of rock song on the album, but almost universally everybody is enjoying Wonder.
So what is it like for you to have the best seat in the house? Because as that drummer, you're up there.
Yeah, I love it. I've been playing drums since I was in the 4th grade. I've never been, I'm a little shy by nature, so I've never been one to be in the front, jumping around. So having that sort of little wall in front of me of the drums, I guess it makes me a little more comfortable up there, and I just sort of get to sit down and go to work. Focus on the drums, rock out, let my hair flow a little bit. I really, really enjoy it, and sort of let our guitarist jump around the stage. Our bassist in particular, if you ever see us live, is a wild man on stage. He's always jumping all over the place.
That's what rock is supposed to be. It's supposed to be high kicks like a David Lee Roth, man. We were there for the show. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's our bassist to a T. He's jumping all over. He's kicking around. Sometimes he's falling over. But, as long as we're still playing solid, it's all good.
How did you get so much personality into the song Monster? Because this song is one that really stands out really well with that personality. I mean, it's got its own little presence.
So I would say I credit that a lot to the singer on that. So the singer on Monster is actually our lead guitarist, takes the vocals on that. And I think he really, really sort of brought the character into the vocals, brought that personality of speaking from the point of view of the monster.
Yeah.
I think that comes across great in his tone and delivery. And I agree. I would say that's really how we achieved that with Jack Morrow taking the reins there on vocals. He really knocked it out of the park and brought character to the album, like you said, where I mentioned it's a little bit of a concept album, but that song is maybe from the perspective of Valak. So having Jack as his own vocals separate from Chris, who sings on all the other songs, really helps that stand out.
See, what I love about this is the fact that with even though you're calling it a concept album, the storylines in each one of these songs reminds me so much of a Styx. It also reminds me of Alice Cooper because as a listener, I envision what it must look like up on that stage, and then because I still listen to it through speakers and not earbuds. So I mean, that's what I get from this. It's that you're drawing pictures in my head, but I don't want you to get out of my head.
I appreciate that. I love that. Drawing pictures in your head, but don't get out of your head. That's great. I really credit the lyrics of our front man for that. I don't like to, let people peek behind the curtain, right? Because once you explain sort of what a song means, that's all they think about. So I really like every person to take away their own interpretation. And I think the lyrics of our front man really help that, where most of the songs really do have down-to-earth explanations behind them and the meanings of the lyrics. But I like that he sort of turns everything into a grander scale, really stylized, mythical in many ways with how he writes things. So I really credit Chris with that again, sort of his mastery of the lyrics there, and taking his idea for the song, but being able to sort of shade it with a few layers that everybody can walk away from the song with their own meaning. And I think it helps a lot of people grab onto us as a band because you are able to find your own meaning in each song and really enjoy it for yourself.
What makes a great concert is the fact that when you're looking around at everybody, you've got your headbangers that are pretending they're playing the drums, and you've got your air guitarists. This song, Beyond the Pale, I totally see every bit of that in somebody doing the drums and playing that guitar.
Absolutely. And that's, I said that while we were recording it, even once we started recording it, you can hear it. It's meant to be played in an arena.
Yep.
We're not quite there yet as a band, but if we do get there one day, we know that song is going to be a banger. It's even better live than on the album. So yeah, that's one that I really enjoy. Some quick drum breakdowns at the end of the choruses. But a really, really great guitar riff driving that song.
Well, the whole album sounds like you guys had a great time together. That, I know that when you have band members getting together, you have a little bit of conflict and friction, but that's part of the story.
Yeah, and we don't have too much of that. Of course, there's disagreements, but it's never to the point where, anybody's threatening to leave the band or anything like that. It's creative differences, which there's 4 of us, so it goes to a vote. And more often than not, it's 3-1 or something like that, where, we really don't have too many arguments where we're split and we just can't come to a decision. For the most part, if it's a decision on, say, a drum part, and the vote comes to 2-2, and I'm voting one way, you give the drummer's vote an extra little bit of weight. So we give each of the instruments, sort of final say in what goes on with their part. And that keeps friction down as much as possible. And besides that, we are pretty laid back. If you check out our Instagram, we have videos on there. We do little skits and things. Just we don't take ourselves too seriously. We like to have our fans enjoy themselves, give them a laugh, and just rock out. Again, it's we take the music seriously, but once we're at the show, we're not telling people to quiet down, pay attention to us, anything like that. At our album release show this past weekend during Donnie Brass, which is a song from our first album, but it was actually written for our lead singer's cousin. So while we're playing it, he jumped on stage. He was jumping around, standing in front of the drum, singing the lyrics into the mic. And we appreciate that. We're not the band that's going to kick that guy off the stage and say you're up.
So who drives the van? Who gets that vote every week? And is it kind of like oh God, it's my turn again?
No, I would say it's pretty much I put my drum set into my own car. It pretty much once I have it in there, there's nothing else you can fit in there. And then for the singer has a truck, and he's pretty easygoing too, so he doesn't mind having the rest of the band sort of fit everything in there and driving along. So, I would say Chris does most of the driving. Like when we're going to Canada, coming up, that'll be Chris driving.
So what's your website? Where can we go to get more information, and where can we buy that merch again?
Yeah, so it's Ronin-band.com. So unfortunately, we had that hyphen in there. It makes it a little more difficult. Yeah. But if you go, you Google Ronin Band, Ronin Long Island, anything like that, we'll pop up. And on our website, we have a merch tab, and right there we have shirts available, including the cover art available on a shirt. Some of our older shirts, we have a Ronin World Order, which is like an old NWO shirt from wrestling. So we have some designs on there. And also on Amazon. If you go to Amazon, the CD is available for sale as a CD, so you can get it if you prefer that, versus Spotify or something like that. We do have that available, and that comes with some a pullout, which includes more art besides just the cover.
Yeah, I've got to do the CD, and the reason being is because on Spotify, I swear that I'm not getting the full mix on that. There's always something that sounds like it's missing.
I kind of tend to feel similar. I'm not much of an audiophile where I can definitely say why or what, but I know just from listening to the CD in my car versus listening to Spotify in my car, I definitely prefer the CD.
Yeah, because when it comes to the group's harmonies and stuff like that, sometimes I hear the background vocals over the actual lead vocalist, and I'm going, whoa, where's my guy at here? We bring him back.
Exactly, and we tend to have backing vocals on a lot of our songs, so that is important on our tracks to make sure the lead singer is standing out. Absolutely.
Dude, you got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Perfect. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the time.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Perfect. I will.